Are you getting divorced and are just completely in fear and feeling paralyzed, not knowing what that first step is that you should be taking? Well, I am here to tell you how important it is that you know that the destination that you believe is what you want for your future. If you do not know that destination, you will not be able to forge that path. Divorce is just like any other life transition. You need to have an idea of the results or the outcomes that you desire. Without that, you are just going to get lost in the woods. I'm going to tell you a story not about divorce, but about a different life transition, a career transition. I was a health and wellness professional in the 90s in New York City. It was 1999, and all of my friends were jumping on the internet train and making it rich, fancy launch parties and really fun work environments. And I was turning 30, and I was like, I wanted to have that experience. Like, how fun is that? This is like life-changing, the internet. So I brainstormed and tried to come up with like, how can I transition my health and wellness company to be something online? But technology was not what it is today. And so that transition was just challenging for me to visualize. And then I got a phone call from my dad. It was in November 1999. Hey, Tanya, I was thinking next year, I'm turning 60, you're turning 30. Let's go on a helicopter ski trip. I'm like, yeah, what are the details? And my dad said, well, I got this letter in the mail from Mike Wigley's, which is up in the bugaboos of Canada. And because of Y2K, January 1st, 2000, nobody's seemingly wanting to travel. So they're giving the trip away for half price. Are you in? And I'm like, yes, count me in. He's like, you're not afraid of the planes falling from the sky? I was like, no, I'm in. January 1st, 6 a.m., JFK. I am in the airport boarding that plane to Vancouver, which then took a puddle jumper to Kamloops. I was one of 10 people on the plane to Vancouver and one of 3 people heading to Kamloops, and all 3 of us heading to Mike Wigley's. When we got there, my dad and I were brought to our home. Like, it was a house that was part of this bigger lodge. And normally it houses 6 to 10 people. There was only 2 of us in that entire lodge. It was almost like eerie. I started thinking to myself, God, like, how do these people even make money? I'm assuming it costs a lot of money to fly those helicopters. So I started thinking, maybe this is my idea. Maybe last minute adventure sports travel. Can I sell that online? So I asked to have lunch with the director of marketing the next day. And I asked her, I was like, how do you get people on the last minute here? Like, she's like, well, we email people who have actually been here before and skied with us. And then, if people were here last week, we just ask them to stay another week. We give them a discount just to kind of offset our costs. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what I want to do. I want to sell last minute adventure sports trips. So on my way home on the airplane, I am furiously writing all of the details of all of my vision. Like, how could this work? What would we need to do? Who would be the partners we would have to bring in? But then I thought to myself, do I really want to start this company? Maybe there's a company out there that is already online that is focused on adventure sports travel. So why don't I try to seek out those individuals? So I wrote my job description. I wrote my ideas on an email and I sent it to every single person I knew. And then I asked them to send it to every person they knew. I was determined to find a way to make this happen, the destination I was looking for. 3 days later, I got an email from my cousin's best friend from tennis camp. And he said, my 2 best friends from when I was a White House fellow, they are starting a last minute travel company in New York City. I lived in New York City. Oh my gosh, this is happening. He said, they want to know if you can meet tomorrow. Yes. Next thing I know, I am heading down to the financial district, going up the elevator to the 10th floor. And there they were, 10 desks in a huge room. That's your internet startup. I spoke to 4 people in 4 hours, and I was so excited. The enthusiasm I must have had in my voice, and the passion for the concept and the idea and the challenge we were solving for. The next day, I got a job offer. My destination complete. So what I am telling you is that in this life transition of divorce, if you do not have your destination in mind, it is going to be challenging for you to forge a path. And if you cannot forge that path due to lack of destination, lack of understanding of the outcome that you desire, you are going to get lost in the woods. So spend the time, define that destination, outline the results that you're looking for and that desired outcome, and then begin to pave your path forward. Did you find this information useful and are contemplating or faced with divorce? If so, check out our free webinar, 3 Simple Mindset Shifts to Start Your Amicable Divorce Journey. And by registering for our free webinar, you will be eligible for a free one-to-one coaching call. Click on the link below to register.